Ontario contributes nearly 40% of Canada's GDP. And the province is really struggling, a little bit like Germany, for one key reason. Its automotive industry is being crushed, not just by Trump tariffs, but honestly by the fact that cars are changing. EVs are becoming more popular now in the US, and really, this has Ontario predicting a grim economic outlook with rising unemployment and much lower job creation. I actually have the numbers here proving this is not just scare tactics, but it's very real. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Ontario has predicted a grim economic outlook with rising unemployment and lower job creation. And a big part of this is because its manufacturing industry, its automotive industry in particular, it's being crunched. Ontario is facing an increasingly dire economic future as the impacts of tariffs from the United States and other things continue to bite, with the government revising down its estimates for growth, job creation, and the housing market. It looks like it could actually enter a recession. A struggling auto industry has played a lead role in the share of workers employed in manufacturing jobs in Ontario and all of Canada, falling to its lowest level since 1976, according to a new report by the province's Financial Economic Office. And the recovery is not going to be quick. Meanwhile, through the second quarter of 2025, Ontario's manufacturing real GDP has declined in 7 of the past 8 quarters. It's down 10% this year alone, and probably more by the time you're watching this video because this data, unfortunately, isn't up to date. The largest declines in real GDP have come in the automotive industry, where, well, jobs have fallen by nearly 20%. And actual output has fallen by 18.3%. As a result, real manufacturing activity in Ontario is at its lowest level since 2015, excluding the pandemic period, of course. Ontario's manufacturing sector now represents about 10% of the province's economy. In the year 2000, 25 years ago, it was nearly 20%. Over the last few years, the sector has faced many challenges, including pandemic-related shutdowns, supply chain disruptions, shipping issues, auto plant retooling, slowing demand, and most recently, US tariffs on Ontario's exports. But it's the automotive sector and the uncertainty surrounding it at the moment that is primarily dragging manufacturing down. And you can say the same thing about many places in North America. It's not just Ontario. Sam Fiorani, Vice President of Global Vehicle Forecasting at US-based Auto Forecast Solutions, which analyzes auto production, said there is little hope for Canadian auto in the near term. Little hope for Canadian auto. Among the issues currently hitting Ontario's automotive sector are the confluence of 2 plants in the middle of product changeovers, another plant ending production of an ill-timed product, and a trade war started by Canada's largest trading partner, said Fiorani. Of course, he's referring to the United States. Ford Oakville Assembly is in the middle of a retool which began in 2024 in order to build pickups, and Stellantis Brampton Assembly will remain empty for, well, ever. That factory has been idled since 2023, and General Motors killed the Bright Drop electric van line, idling the CAMI or CAMI assembly in Ingersoll, Ontario. GM Oshawa, where it builds Silverado pickups, is expected to lose its 3rd shift very, very soon. All of this adds to a global economy already slowing from the post-pandemic recovery, souring Ontario's manufacturing sector, said Fiorani. Finding a path to recovery will be extremely difficult in the short term as the renegotiated United States-Mexico-Canada trade agreement is on the horizon and will likely be US-centric with the Trump administration leading the way. Of course it will be. Now, the government in Ontario is singing a completely different story. They say that manufacturing in Ontario is unbelievably good. Everything's going really well, and they have created thousands and thousands of jobs. I'm not sure about this, but anyway, they say we now have 800,000 jobs in this province in manufacturing, up 24,000 in the last 4 months alone. I'm not sure where they get their data from. They said this as well: we have more manufacturing jobs than Florida and New York, and are 3rd in all of North America, only to California and Texas. Well, unfortunately for the government, the data is telling a different story. However, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, guys. I see this as a pretty terminal decline of the automotive industry in Canada. I don't see it bouncing back anytime soon, particularly because of China, because of their exports that are growing enormously. And ultimately, really, Canada can sell cars to the US, sort of, with tariffs, but there's no one else that's really going to be taking those vehicles, and that is going to shrink their actual demand for the cars that they manufacture. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are, though. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Major German media have just reported this news, which is pretty shocking. But to be honest, if you've been watching this channel, it wouldn't surprise you at all. The German economy is in the grip of a deep crisis with dramatic consequences for hundreds of thousands of employees. That's verbatim, straight from Bild. The automotive industry has been hit particularly hard, with 45,400 jobs lost there within the last, well, less than 1 year. 45,400 jobs. This is shown by a new analysis by the auditing firm EY, which was made available to the German press agency within the last 2 days. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. We've reported on the channel here quite a few times, or I have. The German economy is in crisis. Strangely, we don't hear about this stuff in Australia at all. We don't hear about this stuff. I don't think you guys hear about it in the United States. But the automotive industry in Japan and in Germany is under enormous threat. As a result, hundreds of thousands of jobs will be lost. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning. Overall, says EY Consulting, the industry has lost 101,000 jobs nationwide, a decline of around 2%. But it gets worse. Industry experts expect another 70,000 jobs to be eliminated by the end of the year. Another 70,000 have to go, they say. Why? Well, I mean, Geely's CEO, Xpeng CEO are saying it. They're saying there is massive overcapacity worldwide. Essentially, what's happened is there's been an enormous rise in the automotive industry in China. The automotive industry worldwide, it's a zero-sum game. You start building all these extra factories, then, well, the other ones have to go. And the other ones are owned by legacy automakers, by the Volkswagen Group, by Nissan, by Mazda, Subaru, many car companies, even European brands, Audi. They're under obviously immense pressure, Mercedes-Benz as well. So this is going to have immense ramifications